Hello, welcome again to The Way of Wisdom, and we are in the book of Proverbs. And for the next several times together, we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 16. And today we want to look at God's view of what we do. See, man only sees the outward actions, but God looks upon the heart. Remember when God called David to be the king and anointed David as king? He told the prophet, I don't look like man looks upon people. You look upon the outward appearance, but the Lord looks upon the heart. And we must come to God today and say, Lord, help me not only to do the right things, but help me to do the right things for the right reasons. And so here's Proverbs chapter 16, 1 and 2. The plans of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. Now notice, we can justify something to ourselves, but the Lord weighs our spirit. And in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 2, it says very similar. It's almost a word for word of the same verse. But it says, the Lord weighs the heart. So the spirit, that inner man, the heart, that motivation on the inside, God takes that into account as well. There are times when you might fail to do what you really wanted to do, but God looks upon the heart, and God sees the intention of your heart as pure and holy and good before Him. And so He's pleased, even if we didn't succeed in what we set out to do. On the other hand, you can achieve something, and yet if you achieved it for the wrong reason, the Lord sees that also. And the Lord is not necessarily pleased with that. In Luke chapter 16, verses 15, he says, and he said to them, you are those which justify yourselves before men, but God knows your hearts. For what is exalted among men is an abomination in the sight of the Lord. And so the Lord has an entirely different way of judging things. He has an entirely different standard. Oftentimes those things which are highly esteemed among men are actually an abomination to the Lord. And so today you have a choice. Do you want to please God, or do you want to just look good in front of people? Well, there are times when both are achieved. You please God and other people see it and they see that you're trying to do something worthwhile. But even if other people do not see what you're doing, they don't see the good in it, the virtue of it, if you're doing it for the right motivation, God sees it, and God will bless it, and God will reward it. So let's not judge people simply by their activity or by their achievements. Let's just pray for people. Let's just watch the fruit of other people grow. And in our own lives, let's say, Lord, start with the heart. Let what I do today be out of a pure heart, out of a heart that you are pleased with. For everybody can see my actions, but Lord, you see my heart. Will you make that commitment today and just say, Lord, I commit my heart to you. Work within me, not only to do your good will, but to do it for the right reasons. So Lord, purify my heart. Today, may God bless you as you walk the way of wisdom.